have already told you that whatever may be the reason beloved Baba had shown, and he has what you call showered his love blessings on me, and I feel I am not worthy of it. But when he thinks what we can do, and that is how it has happened, and I am able to be associated with him. That is how things have happened. So, whenever I think of Baba, I feel so grateful to people who have helped me in this journey. Though it has not yet begun, at least I have mind to start sometime. I don't know when it will be, but I can't forget them. So I have told you that is R.S.N. Murthy, my brother Narayan Rao, and Mantravadi Sri Ram Murthy, and in some way Eraj Jassawala. That's a great thing. That Satsangatve Nisangatvam, Nisangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatvam Nishchalatatvam, Nishchalatatve Jivan Mukti. That is what they say. So when you make friends with great people, they, in fact, perhaps they clean our beings and they make us fit or something like that. I have not seen Baba. Of course, he was very much there. So, if he had permitted, maybe I would have seen him, but that has not happened. That is one story is there. But before that, I will like to say something about Mantra Sri Ramurthy and Eraj Jassawala. So I'll start with Mantravad Sri Ramurthy. So I said my entire education and my say, except for 14 years, all my life has been spent in Nizamabad, and so Nizamabad is a place I love, not because of its buildings or something of that, but because the love I got from R.S.N. Murthy and earlier Baba lovers, senior Baba lovers, who made me to what you call to pursue this. So that's the reason why I loved Nizamabad. So when I was young and I finished my graduation, I got a job in Canara Bank and served here for 7 years. Not, I can't say 7 years, 9 years maybe. Yes, it is 9 years. After 9 years, I was transferred to Guntur. But before that, this Guntur connection was there even before that. So that I want to tell you. So I have just finished my graduation and I was badly in some job. So I applied in Canara Bank. It was a private bank at that time, and they had some interview and all that. After that, they gave me a temporary posting at Guntur. So I was young at that time. That is 68 means I was 21 years. Of course, 21 years nowadays people are very intelligent, very what you call shrewd and all that. They know how to face their lives. But our times were different, and even at the age of 21 years, people were just immature. I mean, it was just like childlike nature and all that. And I was very sad that I had to go to such a long distance, particularly leaving my family behind. My parents were very loving, my brothers were very loving, and most of all, Baba's center, Baba's atmosphere is here, and I was afraid that I will be deprived of this. Maybe I will not find Baba atmosphere in Guntur, and I will be maybe I may get sidetracked and all that. That was my worry. So I reached Hyderabad, from Nizamabad to Hyderabad, and took a bus, and I was very worried, and I was sitting by the side of a window, and I was worried. Baba, I'm going to Guntur. Will I have some company? Meher Baba, people will be there. And I was very sad and all that. But suddenly, when I turned right side, I find a man, very strong, very handsome, in his 60s or even that. He, but he was so handsome and beautiful and all that. And he had a badge right by my side. So I was, oh Baba, thank you. Right from the first, what you call, very, that's the first time I was leaving Hyderabad, beyond Hyderabad. I never traveled beyond Hyderabad. And you are giving a man who is a Baba lover. So that was none other than Mantravad Sri Ramurthy. That is when you take up a new job. Actually, that was the first time that I got a job, and for the first time I am going to Guntur to find my livelihood. And here is a friend. I mean, I did not reveal to him that I am a Baba lover at that time, but he's just right, just now sitting right by my side, and literally his company. Of course, for the first time when I went to Guntur, it was for 15 days. After that, they transferred me to Warangal, and from then, I was temporarily recruited. I was removed from the service. That is a different thing. But for the first time, and I took a job, and Baba has taken so much care about me that he should not get disheartened, and he kept a man who is such a great man. Of course, our Meherchand knows him very well. Maybe even Ganesh also. No, I don't know. But he is such a great man. So, coming to him, and I'm going to now. Again, I was my job was regularized. I was given a permanent job, and I served in Nizamabad for 9 years, and then I was transferred to on promotion and a small promotion to Guntur. So Guntur is not something um, which I can forget any time, because there I had a great opportunity to work with Mantravad Sri Ramurthy. So there was not hardly there was a day when I did not see him all these 9 years. Whenever he was in Guntur, whenever I was in Guntur, hardly there was a day we missed meeting each other. That was my first thing I have to tell about him. He was a so coming to his personal life, he was a great actor, very good painter. He's a very good poet, and he's a beautiful photographer. He has taken so many photographs of Baba that in the year 2011, myself and Mantravad Ramurthy, we all went to Meherabad and handed over about 300 to 400 negatives of Meher Baba's photos, which were taken during 1965 Darshan program. So, so that is so. I don't know when all these photos will be published. There are some already. You must have seen some of them. So that is first first thing I want to tell about him. Second thing, and he's a very good painter also. He had beautiful paintings of Meher Baba in his house. Uh, Now they are kept in Guntur Center, and he has written beautiful songs. One of the songs I also sang some time back. If you permit, I will sing once more. If you all permit me, I will repeat that song for
Yes,
my
please.
happiness. For my happiness.
Sure, sure.
It is a Sanskrit song. He was well versed with Sanskrit, English, Telugu, and he understood Marathi. But anyhow, I'll sing this song once again. नमोऽस्तु ते सद्गुरुवन्दिताय निरन्तरनन्दिताय व्यक्ताव्यक्ताय शाश्वताय आद्यन्तरूपगुणनामवर्णरहिताय स्थिताय हिताय जगद्धिताय नमोस्तु अभयंकराय शुभंकराय वेणीधराय प्रेमगंगाधराय पूर्णावताराय अर्धनारीश्वराय मेहराय हराय मनोहराय नमोस्तु ते परमकारणकारणाय संसारकारणवारणाय लोकत्रयार्ति हरणाय मन्दस्मितभूषणाय मौनभाषणाय अहं ममेति दुर्वारभवव्याधि छेदकाय अबोधकाय अवबोधकाय भक्तहृक्षेत्र दिव्यकर्षकाय नमोस्तु हर्षकाय प्रेमवर्षकाय अवेद इव अशक्त इव जडवतु मौनवेषणाय त्रिविधभाषणाय धूलिमिव शिष्यगण शोषणाय तोषणाय मस्तु पोषणाय नमोस्तु भवनाटक खेलनाय मम पालनाय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. He says that you are the one who is worshipped by the five masters, five perfect masters, and so on and so forth. And finally, he says that you are the one who are who who are the what you call producer director of this whole drama. Please save me. Please help me come out of this Maya. That is finally he says that. So coming to him, he was very handsome. So he was in what you call film industry. He was a hero. So he was such a great hero that even actors like N.T. Ramarao and Nageshwar Rao, they were nowhere near him. But acting for him, he took acting for earning money, but he was destined for something different. So when he was in what you call at the prime period, when he was making good money in the film industry, he had some spiritual experience. Then he quit the film field and came back to Guntur to stay there. He was such a great actor. He was well paid. There was car, and there were so many people and so many actors and all that. All that was gone. He came back to Guntur and he opened an ordinary photo studio to make livelihood. But his mind was not there. He used to what you call forget what he's doing. So that was the state of his mind. So he's doing something, he suddenly forgets everything, and he had a vision, and he's unable to complete that work. So what used to happen? People will come for having their photographs. He will take their photograph, and they will go. Again, another customer comes. Then he takes the photograph of that person on the same film. So it was a funny situation when he develops it that he finds two faces and all that. That was his story. So he could not continue that. Then he stopped that, and he used to stay at home. But his passion for photography was there. So MBG Shastri, his brother, was in Guntur. He came to Guntur and he stayed there for nearly 3 4 years. And at that time, they had beautiful Baba programs every day for 70 days and all that. And there was huge, what you call, procession and all that. So he made a sort of a documentary, these things, film, so many photographs and all that. And meantime, what happened? Baba announced that he is going to give darshan in 1965 from May 1st to 4th in Pune, and the first day was in uh, Pune center. So some people suggested that this photograph, this album, it should be made an album, and all these photographs should be put in the album, and the album should be placed it at Baba's feet. So that was the plan. So the whole party went to Pune, and there uh, um, Baba allowed these people to present that photo. I mean, place that album at his feet, and that is the first time when he saw Meher Baba. Of course, he had heard of Meher Baba, and he was a what you call follower of what you call Adishakti. He used to Adishakti was his divine mother was his favorite thing. So he said that maybe Meher Baba, maybe he is an avatar, but Adishakti is the supreme prime power. So he must be a son of or something like that sort. So that was his feeling. Adishakti was the supreme thing that mattered, and Meher Baba is only an avatar after all. What is that? So that was his feeling. So whatever it is. So he came to see Baba, and he was, his Baba's beauty was so great that he was really stuck with that beauty. But anyhow, he said no, he may be Meher Baba, but he's not Adishakti. That was his feeling. So there, Ambiji Shastri said that you have to take photographs of the whole program. So everybody would request him to take a photograph because somebody is bowing down to Baba's feet, and he was requested to take a photograph. So that went on for some time. So somebody suggested that you must take Baba's photo. The entire gatherings photograph. So without taking Baba's permission or organizer's permission, he just climbed the, what you call, the where Baba was sitting to the dais. He went to the dais and he wanted to photograph, take Baba's photograph. So at that time, Francis was there. Francis said, Baba is just there. Baba is here, and Murthy is here, and Francis is by his side. Francis asks him, "Who permitted you to climb the dais?" Then this man, he says, Baba has permitted me. Baba was himself there. And Baba's eyes twinkled. He did not say anything. He just smiled. And so it was permitted. So he slowly took from so many shots, from so many angles. Then he thought that he must go to the backside of Baba, and from there he has to take the photograph. So he had such a big. Nowadays, our photo cameras are different. So he had such a big one. So it was hanging in his what you call around his neck, and he went to the um, wall, and he wanted to focus properly Baba's back. So what he does, he, he stands at the right place and just focuses the uh, camera. So in the camera, you see the image. So Baba had a what you call Baba's tail was there, and it was visible for to everybody. But when he focused, he saw beautiful hair from horizon uh, down down to the earth, and such a beautiful form of the Adishakti. So he lost his consciousness. He fell on the wall and he became motionless. The camera was hanging on his neck, and he has seen the beautiful form of Adi Shakti. For years he has never seen that such beautiful form of Adi Shakti. So Baba's face was there, and his Baba's hair, it looked as though it is Adi Shakti's hair, and he was motionless for a few minutes, and then he came to senses, and once again he wants to focus it and find whether it is my imagination or hallucination or something of the sort, and again he focuses. Without focus, he sees Baba with his small tail with a flower in it, and when he looks into the camera, he finds the beautiful form of Adishakti. Then he was gone. So he was now, he knew that the same thing which he was seeking for years. He was while sleeping, while eating, while talking to anybody, he would always think of Adishakti. Now this Adishakti has, given her darshan in the form of Meher Baba, and he knew that instantly that Meher Baba is the supreme thing, that which he has been uh, wanting to see for years. So he had to, because of that, the experience that he had in Madras as an actor, where he had a glimpse of that beautiful form, he gave up everything. His, lucrative film field where there was money and everything, and the name was there and whatnot, everything, and every comfort was there. So he left that. He came to Guntur. He became a pauper. He had no money. To make money, he had to open a studio with the help of some his own brother. His brother M.B.G. Shastri gave him some money to start a business, and the photo studio. Even that also was gone, and he had to uh, lead a very austere life, not going outside. Only, and he had many children, six children, and six daughters and two sons to support him all that. So if whenever people asked him, how are you going to feed these people? He would say it is the lookout of Brahma. That is, one who has created these people, he will take care. That was his conviction. So, so that, and most of all, he was very honest, very humble, very truthful, and very what you call, um, he would never ask for anybody's help. So he was such a great man, and he never made a show of his greatness or anything. He would treat everybody equally, and he would hug anybody with such great love. So I was very young when compared to him. Maybe he must be 25 to 26 years older to me, but all the same, he treated me with such great affection, love, and regard that he would call me Miru. I would always request him, please don't say that. I feel very bad. Miru means respect. So, but he never called me singularly. He would always say Miru, Miru. So that was his greatness. Apart from that, yeah, he would many times in my life when I was faltering, he would give me advice and say, this is not the way you have to behave. He would try to correct me, and he would make me realize what is truth. So that is one personal aspect. There is another aspect also. That is, uh, people who have seen Guntur, they know that there is a very big center, very huge center, 70 by 40 to 40 feet. Uh, that is the 70 feet long and 40 feet width, such a uh, gigantic center. So that center was originally started by one Mr. N.V. Ramanaya. So going to that, I will tell you some background about it. That when Baba gave darshan in 1954, February 21st in Guntur, he was returning to Vijayawada for the evening program. So when the car was passing, I mean, it is on the highway, that is Guntur to Vijayawada highway. So it lies on the right side when you go to Vijayawada. So Baba's car stopped for a while, and Dharmarao Naidu was driving the car. So Baba stopped it for a while and made some gestures there. But these people could not understand what he was telling. But that is the place where Baba stopped his car, and there the center is built. That is in due course. That is in 1971. One Mr. M. Ramanaya, he was also a very great Baba lover. He came several times to Pune, he had Baba's darshan, and his own story is so beautiful. But I don't think I will have sufficient time to tell about that. But he was such a great lover. So he was a businessman. So he purchased some land here in Guntur, and he wanted to construct Baba's center. So by that time, Baba had dropped his body. It was 1971, and he had money, so he started. When he started, there was money. Midway, when he finished the superstructure, he lost his business. He became a pauper. There was no money, and added to that, he was. I mean, he suffered from brain TB. So he was not in his senses. So as the days passed, he was very, his condition was pathetic, and he died somewhere in 77, but most of the time he was sick. So this such a gigantic center could not be completed when he was alive, and when he passed away, it fell on the shoulders of the people who were in Guntur. So it is my good fortune that I also went there when this all happened, and we had to now as I mean the responsibility came upon we few people. We had decided to complete that center. So now again, what is the matter? The problem is none of us have money. There is nobody who had money. Uh, there were one Mr. Subbarao, he was employed in a district panchayat office, and all ordinary people. And what we have to do? So we decided that we should go for collections. So we went from place to place. We went to different places. We went to I mean customers. Again, I went to my customers in Guntur in Canara Bank. So somehow we pooled money, and it was opened in 1980 on 1st March by Adi K. Rani. So what happens is that, of course, we completed the building. Baba statue was there. It was also he made some corrections in the statue. I mean, Sri Ramurthy was also a very good sculptor. When the sculptor brought it, he found some mistakes in that. He had even corrected them. So that is he had great love for everything with great care and all that. We installed. I mean, the program was over, and then we came to know that Ramanaya's sons, that is the man who purchased the land, who built the building, they wanted to have the building for themselves. So they went to a court of law. So it is, I mean, such a, when it goes to court, it takes years and years. So we have somehow finished the building, we have opened it, but there was a suit against the center, so, rather not against center, against one Mr. Subbarao and Mantra Sri Ramurthy, uh, saying they demanded that they should hand over the building to the heirs. Unfortunately, even though Ramanaya lived for Meher Baba and did everything for Meher Baba, he never made any document stating that this building is going to be center of Avatar Meher Baba. It is meant for Baba lovers. So there was no documentary evidence. So what they have to do? So at that time, ACS Chari was there. Baba lover, he's a great pleader, and there were other lawyers also. E.L. Bhagitara was also there, and so many people were there. We all contacted them. They said you have no prima facie evidence, so you can never have it. One day or the other, you have to surrender it. So that's the legal status. So, and Mantravad Srimurthy was also a lawyer. He was a lawyer, poet, some sort of engineer, and above all, he was a Baba lover of, great quality. So he said that, no, we will. They said that no, you can't do anything. Or S.S. Chari told that no, you don't have any right. You can never get it. Forget about it. That is what he said. But he said he came to when he returned to Guntur. He said, Janardhan garu వాళ్ళందరినీ ఎన్ని మాటలు మాట్లాడినా I am here. I will see that it will be Baba's center. That was his confidence without a document. That is, he said that even if the whole world says, even if the greatest of all lawyers say that the center is going to be handed over to the legal heirs of Ramanaya, it will never happen. Take it from me, he used to tell me. And so there were trials and all that. So the situation became so grave that these sons, Ramana's sons, they also don't have any access to the documents. So they tried to find out from the land records and all that, from collectorate and all of that. All that. There was not, nowhere their names were mentioned. And so he said that when there is no mention of his legal heirs, how can they take that? Then they said that his wife, she came. She said that she's a pauper and this is the only thing that she can depend on that. So it should be given to the given to her as a what you call something belonged to her husband. So he said, but this is a temple. What are you going to do with this temple? Because by the time we completed, we gave a shape of temple. We had a tower and all that, as though it looked like a Hindu temple. So no, she said that this temple is built for our family. She had to accept that. So okay, all right. You say that this is built for you. So when the foundation and stone was laid, so he took out so many things. So he made counter arguments. He said that when the foundation was laid, you said that it is built for you. Please show me some evidence that you were there. He has shown so many photographs where all Baba lovers were there. There were none from his family, leave alone this wife. So all such evidences. Then all right, I will ask you one final question. You say that this temple is Meher Baba's temple and it is built for your family. Then you recite Baba's prayer in the court hall. In the court hall, he wants us to recite the prayer. So she starts weeping. She has no idea about Meher Baba and all that. And the judge says, "Oh, this is all false." So, so that is the. తెలుగులో ఏమంటారు కొండకి దారం కట్టి లాగితే కొండ వస్తుందండి literally. So he has tied a small thread and he tied a mountain and he got the mountain to him. That is the in nutshell that much I can say about that man. And despite all this, he was very, very, very simple, and he never claimed that he did anything great. And he used to tell that Baba had helped him at every step. Baba gave him intuition, what to speak in the court, what he had to do, all that. So just as we see in the cricket that you are about to lose the game and finally you win the match, that is what has happened with Guntur about Mantravad Srimurthy. And his own straightforward and his own loving and truthful nature, and above all, his love for Meher Baba is something I cannot describe. Though I can only experience that. I feel very grateful to him for whatever has done for the center, for my own what you call being or that and all that well-being. That is one thing. Now I'll come to Eric Jasala. Have it time?
Yes, you have a lot of time. Don't worry. Lot of time is there. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So,
Eric Jasala. So this is also something I generally don't share these things. But because I have to speak something, I have to say, instead of telling about myself, if I tell about Erich, that will be good, you know. So, about Erich, what I can say, the whole world knows, all Baba people know. But that is different. But something has happened with me as far as I am concerned. So, I will tell about that. So, uh, when you read Baba's life, Yerich is something, he's present everywhere. Along with Baba, he's present. And I loved his job. I loved his character. I loved his this thing. I used to think how I wish I had that opportunity, of course. That's a foolish thing, but that is how it was. So I had what you call some sort of fascination for him because he served Baba like a slave. He was there. There were so many stories, but I have whatever that has happened with me, I will tell. So in 1984, I was in Guntur. So uh, uh, whenever there was a possibility, I used to visit Mehrabad, and for every Amartiti I would go. But in 1984, what happened? For some family reasons, I could not go. I sent only my wife, and for Amartiti, and Erich loved her so much that he embraced her. He kept him with himself for so many times, and there was some close, what you call, intimacy between these two. And she came. Of course, I knew Erich Jasala, but from distance and all that. So she came and told me and all that. Then I said, okay, right, it's good that at least you have met him so closely. It's your good fortune and all that. Then what happened? I was sad that I did not attend the Amartiti program. So I missed not only Amartiti, I also missed the opportunity of meeting Eraja Sawala. So that was the okay. That was not a big thing. So on 19 March 13th, that is 15th March, Mehrabad will close. The pilgrim season comes to an end, and everybody is required to leave Mehrabad and go to their places, even foreigners. So that was the situation. Those days, foreigners used to stay there for months. Actually, they did lot of, great work in Mehrabad. Um, so that is one thing. But even pilgrims who were there for 3 4 months, they would go back. So everybody would go back, and these people will, Mandali people will go to their places and have some rest and all that in Mehrabad and all that. So on 19 March 13th night, I have a dream. In the dream, I saw that I am in Mehrabad and Erich is sitting behind the cabin where we all used to meet him. Merchant knows it, and maybe you all also may be knowing that. But such a big crowd is there. Erich is sitting in a, behind the cabin on the what you call base of the cabin, and I saw him eating some sweet. See the wonderful part. I don't know what is the nature of a man, but I saw him eating something in the dream. So I immediately became very sad because when I was young, my mother told that if you see somebody eating in a dream, that man will die. So I am in a dream, I am seeing a dream, and I see Rich Jasawala there, and he's eating. Somehow I knew that it is a dream, even though it was in a dream. You don't feel that it's a dream; you feel it is a reality. So if some thief comes or something terrible things happens in a dream, also we yell and cry out and all that. So this is a peculiar dream. I am in a dream and I see Erich Jaisawala eating something, and I, I, I feel very sad that this man will die soon. So that was there. Suddenly he stops eating, and he uh, calls somebody, but I thought it is me. He's calling me. So I just went near him. I was going. Though halfway he stops me. Not you. Behind you, Sardarji is there. Hanspal, Meherdeep Hanspal is there. So it is meant for him. So I get back, and Sardari comes, and Erich gives him a laddu, Indian sweet. So he takes it and he goes away. Again, I am standing there and I am seeing him eating, and I am feeling very sad. And suddenly Erich became very thin, very fragile. His bones, everything, I mean, like a skeleton. And he was, I was very sad. Oh, so this is surely he is going to die. So, in a shock, I, I got up from the dream. I realized that I am in the room in Guntur, but I am weeping bitterly. And oh, he said, "Oh, it's a dream. So let us forget that." And again I slept. So second time, another the same thing. Whole drama is enacted another time. It took nearly 40, 45 minutes. All this dream to complete, and again I wake up, and I found that the time is about 5 o'clock in the morning. So morning dreams are, they say that they are true. So I felt very sad, and I said that this is 14th March, and tomorrow Mehrabad will be closed, and I cannot see him. But all the same, I said decided I should go. So somehow reservation was not there. It was a very long journey from Guntur to Mehrabad. So whatever may be the reason, I did not care for anything and just picked up some clothes for me. And my wife was telling, "Where are you going?" So I am going to Mehrabad. She said suddenly, "Don't ask me any questions. I am going." I came to Mehrabad. So I had to travel with great difficulty up to Dawn and then come to Mehrabad early in the morning. I went to Mehrabad and took Baba's darshan, and it was about 9:30. I went to trust office. That is 15th March 1984. So I went to trust office. Erich was on the back. I mean, there is a small room like thing there. He was there, but I was outside. I was in the, I mean, veranda. So I sent word to Erich telling that I have come from Guntur. He did not know me. He doesn't know me at that time. That is, my name is Janardhan and all that. He did not know me at all. I only knew him that he is Erich Jaisawala. The world knows him, but he does not know who is Janardhan and all that. But he sent word to me saying that wait. So I waited nearly half an hour, 45 minutes. Then he sends me word that you go and have your food. So there is one Ashoka hotel there near the trust office. I went there. I took for some food and all that. I returned. Again I came, and the man, that is the attendant there, he says, "Why did you come today? Erich is very busy. Don't you know that today is last day?" I was very, I mean, very sad hearing these words, but I just kept quiet. After some time, Erich calls me inside. I went there. So he was sitting, there was a table. Behind the table, he was sitting, and there is a chair. There are maybe a bench. I don't remember bench or chair, whatever it is there. There were some seats were there. He asked me to sit, and before anything, he calls Divana. Divana, get that sweet box. This is the first thing. They get that sweet box. So she brings. So when he uttered, "Get that sweet box," I was shocked because in the dream, I thought that he's calling me for giving me the sweet, but he gave it to uh, Meherdeep Hanspal. It was no, of course, it was not, I am not hurt, but first I thought that it is for me. So when the sweet came, I was shocked. Then, without uttering any word, he says, Divana, please get that sweet box. And when she brings it, he gives it to me. He says, this is for you. Take this. Of course, I did not say anything. I kept it. Then he starts asking me, what is your name? Where do you come from? What is your job? How many children you have? And all that. And I had to answer all those questions. Then he says, why did not you come for the Amartithi? He puts this question. I said, I had some problem and all that. No, no, what is that problem? No, leave problem. Leave problem. You people have leaves. Why you did you not plan properly? So I was trying to dodge that. I was trying to avoid those things. And he very, very particularly, very prickingly, he asks me every minute detail about not coming to Mehrabad for the Amartithi. Finally, I said I had not sufficient money at that time. So he says to me, "Do you gamble?" I I did not say anything. Then, all right, okay, you did not come. Now you have come. It's good. I'm very happy. But don't you know that 15th is last day? You are coming for years? Yes, I come. I come here for years. So don't you know that 15th is last date? Yes, I know. Then why did you come? I said, just like that I came. I to take Baba's darshan. And why did you come here? I said, to meet you. Don't you know that we are not available for you? The other day there were some foreigners. I scolded them and sent them away. How come? How dare you come today? So he went on pestering me, pestering me. Then I had to said, no, 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 no. You tell me the truth. Now finally says that you tell me truth. Why did you come? Then I started weeping. I said, I had a dream. In the dream, what all I saw, I told him. He laughed at, how do you know that I'm going to die? It is in 1984. I said that my mother told me that if you see somebody in the dream eating something, then that man will die very soon. So he said, okay. Then what happened? I told everything. So he said, I did not give you sweet in the dream. That's the reason why I gave you sweet. So look at the sweet box. There's so many laddus. So, so there is a meaning in that. So now I have to connect something. See, 1984, this Mehdi Bhanspal was in Hyderabad. I saw him, but I did not know who he was and all that. As a Baba lover, I knew him, that's all. He does not know me also. But I saw this man in the dream, and he is the man, he received the sweet first from Iraja Sala, and incidentally, he is the first person from entire Andhra or any other place to go and settle down in Mehrabad. He is still today. He is serving Baba there with his wife. Even though his children are there in America, he lives here. That is one thing. Second thing is that he gave me so many sweets, not knowing why I came. Of course, I did not come for sweet, but I was worried that Iraj is going to die. Then after that, what happened? So every year, whenever I went there, he used to recognize me and give me so much time that every Amartithi from 1985 or 86 onwards, every time I go there, I work as volunteers. I stay there for 10 days or something like that. And all these, those days there used to be 4 days. That is 28th, we have to go there, 29th, 30th, 31st, 1st. Second, we will leave because first there will be a visit to Meher. So for 4 days there was an opportunity to stay with Erich. So every night I will arrange my duty in such a way that from 9 to 4 in the morning there will not be any duty for me. I will take some care and request people to give me such a allotment. and all that. Well, of course, I did my duty sincerely. So at 9 o'clock, I'll be there at the cabin. So uh, everybody will go about 10, or 10, 10:30, 11 people will go. I'll be still lingering there. So Erich would call me and ask me to sit by his side, and he would talk to me up to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, every day, every day. So that is how we developed some intimacy. And he knew me by name. He knew my children. He knew my wife. He loved my children. And my daughter was born on 31st January. So on 31st January, he would call me and my daughter and my family, have a photograph with him, and he would give chocolates to my daughter. She was very young at that time. So because that was her birthday. So it went on for several times. He gave me so many beautiful stories. So one story I would like to tell you, that is not story, incident. It was
Sure, sure. Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, you
What would
can
you think?
share, share, share. Don't worry about the time. You can share. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I will try to complete very quickly.
No, no, no. No
So
worry. No problem. No
uh,
time. Yeah.
so what happened? It was about 3 o'clock. Mm, He had gone for some rest. He went there for rest at about 12 o'clock. And what I usually did is that I used to sleep on the, back side of the cabin, so that if Erich comes, he will again meet me. So that was my hope. And actually, what would happen? He would definitely come and he would wake me up. Come on, Janardhan, utho, main aa gaya. Aisa. He would say that, come on, Janardhan, I came. So I used to sleep there. So I was sleeping there. He came, and then he woke me up. Then he was telling me about so many things. How he refused to go to America along with Baba after New Life. So I said, why, Erich, why did you refuse to go? He says, Janardhan, you don't understand. I would have been a burden to him. So that's the reason I did not go. So such was our intimacy. So we were talking in the all day. Then suddenly a boy comes. A boy, he had a small beard. He was very sad and very pathetic. His condition was there. He comes to him and stands before him. So Erich gets up. Erich gets up, hugs him, and he says, "What do you want?" So this boy says, he was maybe in his 20, 25 or something like that. So he says that हमें बाबा के बाल चाहिए. That is, he wants Baba's hair. So Erich turns to me and says, Janardhan, ask him what is he asking? So those were the days when there was Hazrat Bal, what you call incident in Kashmir. So many people were killed in that Hazrat Bal incident. So he turns to me. Does he know what is he asking? For the sake of hair, there were so many people were killed. So he wants Baba's hair. So this is the question he puts me, as if I am going to suggest him to do this way or that way. So I was awestruck and I did not say anything. He says, "Come on, why don't you speak?" He asked me. Erich asks me, "Don't you know what has happened recently in Kashmir?" I said, I just kept quiet. I was, no, it is, and all that. Do you think that this boy will be able to guard it, keep it safely? Um, I said maybe. Because I was not. I also wanted that he should get what he wanted, in my heart of hearts. So I thought that if at all Erich would agree to that, he has to get it from Meherazad. Or somehow that was not the time, right time. So finally Erich says, तो आप चाहते हैं आपको बाबा के बाल चाहिए? हाँ हाँ. Yes, do you want Baba's hair? He says, yes, yes. So all right. And he takes out a small packet from his overcoat, And he tells me, Jonathan, you have not seen anything. That is, you don't tell anybody that I have given hair to this man. And you also don't expect from for yourself. Naturally, we will like to have it, isn't it? But I had no idea about that. I never wanted anything from him. So several times, maybe at least 30, 40 times we met. Uh, but I never asked for anything. I always heard whatever he told me. Sometimes I would put some silly questions. He would answer to me and he would say so many things. But despite all that, he said, you have not seen anything. Yes, yes. Because I had no desire to have Baba say. Maybe I were, but I did not want that I should ask him and get that from him. So he gave us that. And that boy is happy and he goes away. And now he reached turns to me, don't you ask me? I said that it is up to you. Up to you. Don't you ask? I, see, a man, he thinks that very intelligent. I thought that I was very intelligent. I said, oh, it is up to you. Oh, okay, you don't want. So he leaves there. Now the pain starts in my heart. I said, Rich, first of all, I had no idea that you had hair. First of all, I mean, honestly, I'm telling you, I never thought of asking anything from you, from anybody. That's not there in my nature. So I did not ask. But now you have shown me this, and now you say that you don't want to give. I said, okay, okay. Then he gives me and hugs me, and a small hair packet. That is one thing. So I have that with me. Sorry, I have to take it out. But anyhow, I have Baba's hair, which was given to me by Rajya Sawala, one thing. Second thing is that, last very important thing, that is, so one night we were together there again. So it was very long story. He had told me how when he passed away, when his father passed away, how Baba uh, did not permit him to go to see his father and all that. There were so many stories. And then I put him a question. So did you see Baba recently in a dream? So he became very serious and he looked into my eyes. He said, what did you say? I said, no, did you see Baba in your dream? Then he tells me the story. He says, yes, I saw. So he says that Baba and he were at a very, very, very great height, unimaginable height. It was something what you call lift, or what you call lift, lift, people go up the um, flats, buildings and all that. They were together, Baba and Yarish were there in the lift. They were at a very great height, and down you can't see anything. Such is the height. And they were two there. Baba says, jump. So the very, as soon as he said jump, it jumps. So when you are in a dream, you realize that it is a dream when you wake up from the dream. But when you are in a dream, it's a reality in the dream for you. Your experience is dream. Is not a dream. It is a reality. So in a real situation, Baba wants him to jump from the great heights, leaving him alone. That is also one thing which bothers Erich Jassawala. Whenever he left Baba alone, that was a great agony, because there should be somebody to take care of him. That is how it was. That is how he grew in Baba's company. And he says that, now jump, not caring for anything, just to please the Lord. He immediately rushes to the window and jumps. So, so at least I was fortunate to hear that story from his own, from the horse mouth, that is what we say. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And I pray to Baba to make every one of us. Again I recollect that message, that is, if understood, life is a jest. If misunderstood, life becomes a pest. For the pilgrims on the path, life is a test. And when relinquished through love, life is at its best. So may Baba grant us the best life for each one of us. And that is the prayer I make. And I conclude here. Jai Baba.
Thank you so
Avatar
much
Meher
for
Baba
a
ki jai.
beautiful story. Avatar Meher
Jai
Baba
Baba
ki.
ki jai.
So anybody, any questions, any comments, can unmute and say share. Any questions, anything, any comments? Anybody?
Just beautiful, Janardhan uncle. Wonderful.
Oh, Prakash.
Yeah,
Jai Baba, very happy to see you
I mean,
again.
you're such a soul. I mean, we just want to keep on hearing. You said you spent a lot of time with Erich, so you heard a lot from him. So we want to hear everything of it.
Hey, you have already heard that, all that. Once your
Now,
brother was there.
yeah, what you shared is beautiful, but if you remember any more, please do share with us because that's so personal to you and Erich. That'll be nice.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Jai Baba. Thank you very much.
Prakash,
Well, yes.
Prakash,
Yeah.
Janu Kaka used to sit with Iruj Kaka during Amartiti at the shelter for 8 years continuously till he became a regular volunteer at the Lower Marabad.
Right.
Because that day 31st happens to be Dr. Suchi's doctor birthday. So you should, they always be sitting with Iruj Mama and they used to hear the stories. Lot of stories. All the three are there. Of course, Sudhir was a little kid, and Suchi, he and all. Three.
Yeah.
And there he got a lot of stories. He's a chupe rustum hai. So you should take off everything from him.
That's why, yeah. If
Yeah.
you remember, that'll be great. Yeah.
He
Most of the
remembers
stories
everything. I know.
Most
Yeah.
of the stories you have already heard them. Whatever Erich told me, they are also known to you people.
Now
course,
it's
if-
like, it's like kids. Kids want to hear the same story from their parents. No matter if they heard 10 times, they want to hear the 11th time.
Yeah, these stories will have to be repeated till next 700 years.
Yeah, so
Till Baba comes, so this will be.
Yeah.
Yeah,